These are example problems for Classwork 1-9. Number 1 says give the parent function. Y equals negative 8x minus 2. The parent function for this would be linear. So our parent function is y equals x. Okay, so x is going to go here. Take a moment and try your number 1. Number 2 says identify the types of functions from the graph. Check all that apply. For the first one, if you look at the graph, it looks kind of like steps. That's an easy way to remember this one, which is our step function. Go ahead and try your number 2. Number 3, this is both the identity function because it is y equals x. Identity function is y equals x, or f of x equals x. It's a line that goes through the origin with a slope of 1. It is also linear. Okay, so in this case, it actually falls into 2 categories. So try your number 3. Number 4, this is an example of an absolute value function. Try your number 4. Number 5, this one would be considered a linear function. It would not be considered the identity function because it does not go through the point 0, 0, or the origin. Number 6, this would be considered a constant function because it's f of x equals a constant number, or y equals a number. And this number would be 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 4. So this would be the same as y equals negative 4. This would also be a linear function. Number 7 says identify the types of functions from the equation. So the last ones were graphs, these are equations. And then check all that apply, so there may be more than one. Okay, as you remember, these vertical bars are absolute value. So this is an absolute value function for number 7. This is an additional one in addition to the notes that I gave you. The 2 brackets around this indicate that this is a step function. This one is our linear function. It is also the identity function. So this falls into 2. Number 10, we have a constant function. F of x equals a constant, which is our negative 4. It is also a linear function. For number 11, this would be just a linear function. For number 12, it's asking us to give the parent function. Y equals negative 9 x squared minus 6. Okay, this would be considered quadratic. This would be a quadratic. So our parent function for quadratic is x squared. On number 13, we're giving the parent function of the graph shown. Again, this is quadratic. It's our parabola. So this would be x squared. Okay, so our parent function is y equals x squared, or f of x equals x squared. For number 14, our parent function, we're going to take a look at the exponents. We have x, which if it was just x would be linear. If we had x squared as the highest exponent, it would be quadratic, but we actually have x cubed, so this makes it cubic. So this one is cubic, which means our parent function is x cubed. For number 15, we have this graph, the parent function. Okay, remember the cubic one looks like a sideways S, so this one would be our cubic parent function, so x cubed. Number 16, the parent function, again we're looking at x, so we have a square root, so this would be our square root parent function, okay, which the square root parent function is square root of x. Okay, remember when you type in square root into Kydor, you do SQRT, and it'll give you your square root sign and then x. Number 17 says give the parent function. Okay. This one is starting here only in the positive values of y, so the range is just the positive values of y. This is our square root function. Okay, the parent function would be the square root of x. Now it's not the actual equation for that, that would just be the parent function. Okay. That completes the example problems for Classwork 1-9. If you have any questions, feel free to email me